Hello, my name is Lucho, and today we're going to be going through the process of creating a submission slide for our Threadless challenges. Now, this image is the image that you're going to submit to us and is going to go up for voting for the community members to see and for everybody to score. And as you may imagine, it's a very important part of getting your design printed on threadless.com. Now, this image allows you a lot of freedom on how you present your design, but there are two things to keep in mind. The image must be 1200 by 1200 in a JPEG, and it has to include a mock-up of what your design would look like once printed. Now, this could be on any kind of product that we offer, t-shirts, phone cases, wall art, but more often than not, we prefer the t-shirt be shown. And the reason for this is that we want to see what your design will look like in terms of size and placement. And not only that, it's also very important for our community members and for the people voting to see how it would look once printed. And presentation is a very, very, very important part of the voting process. Now, without further ado, we offer a submission kit, which is what I have open right now. And this kind of gives you everything that you need in order to create your image. And with just looking at the submission kit open right now on Photoshop, there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's kind of simplify things a tiny little bit and make sure that we don't get confused. And as you can see, we have a t-shirt here and we have some text that is in the submission kit that is meant to guide where things go. Let's remove a couple of these things and delete these text layers, for instance. Should not something that we're gonna need right now. So now with your text deleted, let's get our artwork in here and start cracking. As you might see, I already have a piece of artwork that I wanna submit to Threadless for voting. Let's go to Window, Tile All Vertically, and with my artwork file selected, I will just drag my art layer into the submission kit. Just as simple as that. But as you can see, it's a little bit large. It's kind of covering up the whole thing. Not really ideal. So let's, like once again, with the design selected, go to Edit, Free Transform, and let's make sure the Shift key is being held down while we're doing this. Resize, oops. With the Shift key held down, let's resize our file to fit within our image. Holding Shift will make sure that your design does not get warped or the proportions get lost somewhere along the way when you're sizing things up and down. So this is a good place to start. Again, with my design layer selected, right click and go to Duplicate Layer and make sure it says Layer 2 Copy, that's fine. And with the copy layer selected, let's drag this in the Layers panel all the way into the Your Design folder that is in here. Now, so far this isn't a really big change, and the reason why we moved this here is because this is the layer that's going to be on top of the small t-shirt in the corner. And the reason we want it in here is because that way the shadow layer, which is what shows the shadows on the t-shirt, is overlaid, making it look like it's printed on the shirt. It's a very nice presentation. It's very simple and very effective. So, once again, with the copy layer selected, let's go to Edit, Free Transform, and let's make it small. And then we can move it around to fit on top of the shirt to give an idea of the size that we want for this design once printed. Once we're happy with that, let's click Enter. And as you can see, it kind of looks like it was printed and it was overlaid very nicely. Now, we're almost there. One thing that we need to play with now is the color of the shirt. As you can see, by opening the colors panel, you'll see all the colors that we have available in the submission kit and on Threadless. And you can see that only our asphalt layer is on. As you can see, I can turn that off and I can turn that back on, and we have asphalt. Now, the way layers work, a little crash course, is whatever is visible on top of each other will kind of block what's underneath. So for instance, if I wanted a red t-shirt and I turned that on by toggling the visibility, it won't really be noticeable because the asphalt layer is on top of it. So if I want this to be visible, I would either need to move it on top of that asphalt layer, or in a more simple manner, just toggle the visibility of the asphalt layer off. And the same can be true for, pretty much any color. Like right now I have canary, burntner, orange, and red on, but I can only see canary because it's on top. Now, let's select which color we want for our shirt. I think I'm going to go with a chili red tri-blend because those are really nice and that is a pretty good color. And let's minimize that. And we are almost there. Now, two things that you could do here. You could leave it as is and submit it, but our artwork is a little bit blocked by the t-shirt. So let's select all these layers that pertain to the t-shirt. That would be shadows, your design, and colors, and just move that slightly out of the way. And that would be good. And then we can move our design layer up a little bit and make it a tiny bit smaller. Keep in mind that it doesn't have to take up the entire space. It just needs to show us what it looks like. And now we can appreciate the details of the artwork, as well as a nice little overlay in the corner that doesn't really take up a ton of space. We are almost done with this. One more thing that you can do is you can add a color to the background, because right now the white is kind of boring. So let's go with a nice, let's go with a nice yellow. And hit that, and that kind of gives us a very garish composition, but it works. This is pretty much good to go. I'm fairly satisfied with the way it looks. And so let's save it. Let's go to File, Save As, and let's make sure it's a JPEG. And it's saved to our desktop, and we'll call this Submission Template 1. And hit Save. Make sure that it is set, the quality is set to maximum and 12, and hit OK. And that should be it for your image. Keep in mind that, like I said, this image only has two requirements, and that's size and the mockup. From then on, you can play with textures, you can play with colors, you can play with placement. Anything is good, and feel free to get creative and enjoy submitting. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.